Typical summertime day today, hot and humid with only a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around for us tonight, but a better chance of storms for us for tomorrow. A full look at 5 or 6 straight ahead.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, the discussion for renaming the Riverwalk, what commissioners have been hearing. And we're going to update you on a law in Georgia aimed to keep your children safe at swim lessons. News Channel 6 at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is Wjbf News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with more revelations about the renaming of Riverwalk. 2 former Augusta mayors are associated with the park, but commissioners voted last week to rename it after only one, Ed McIntyre, despite arguments that Mayor Charles Devaney was more instrumental in getting Riverwalk built. Senior reporter George Escala has the story.
Renaming Riverwalk has commissioners saying they're not hearing a lot of demand for it.
Most of them didn't want to name either one of them, and a lot of them feel like if you either put both their names on or don't put any at all.
Last week, commissioners rejecting a proposal to rename Riverwalk for mayors Ed McIntyre and Charles Devaney, and instead voting to name it for just McIntyre. Devaney was mayor when Riverwalk was built. His city attorney at the time says it would not have happened had Devaney not led a delegation to D.C. to get an act of Congress to allow construction on the levee.
Before that was done, nothing was going to be done with the Riverwatch. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't even cut a tree on it until this act of Congress was passed, and Devaney did that so single-handedly.
Devaney's name is on the plaque at Riverwalk. His cousin Rick Toole saying he felt it was the pinnacle of his time as mayor.
Charles felt it was his crowning achievement. He really was proud of Riverwalk, what it did for the city to bring people back to the river, to connect the downtown to the river.
It seems like a lot of the older guard is upset with the fact that only McIntyre's name was on there, it seems like. So again, there'll be a lot more discussions about this, I'm sure.
Renaming Riverwalk has people talking for sure. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Well, tonight, News Channel 6 continues to investigate claims that Independence Day week celebrations may be getting out of hand downtown. Last night, for a second straight night, viewers posted messages and videos they say show people shooting fireworks at each other, at bystanders, even into businesses. Bria Smith continues to follow this story. She is live on Broad Street. Bria?
No injuries have been reported, but people are concerned after a second night of what they describe as fireworks disturbances downtown. Witnesses tell me it all started after the city's fireworks show on Tuesday night. They say teenagers started shooting fireworks at each other and nearby vehicles. We were then sent another video by a viewer who says a similar situation occurred last night. I've spoken with downtown business owners and others who live in the area, and they tell me they're waiting for something to be done about it.
Like seeing them in the air, oh, beautiful, yeah, great. I saw one right in front of my car, like from here to like, I don't know, 20 feet away, if even. Nah, that's too close. That'll blow up somebody's body part, man.
I've reached out to law enforcement and city leaders and are waiting for their response. Reporting live in downtown, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Time now for a first check of the forecast.
I'll show you hour by hour what to expect for your Friday. All coming up in just a few minutes. Jenny, Brad.
All right, Tim, thank you. A new law in Georgia took effect this week to help protect children taking swim lessons. Hannah Latier tells us it was inspired by a local family.
Thank you, Jenny. Izzy's law is named for Israel Scott, who drowned while taking swimming lessons last summer. As a result, swim instructors and parents in Georgia are having to be more cautious when it comes to letting kids get near the water. The new law states that the Department of Public Health has to come up with aquatic safety guidelines by January 1st, 2024. By April 1st, 2024, every swim instructor in the state needs to have a safety plan in place before giving swimming lessons to anyone. In the meantime, swim instructors we spoke to say there should be no more than 4 children per instructor, never to turn your back on the swim class, and to keep an eye on your own child. And Izzy's family is just appreciative that his legacy can be used to protect other children.
Now, instead of Izzy's life being in vain, or we feeling like it was in vain, I believe it would help save a lot of children. It'll give a lot of parents more confidence, because after Izzy's drowning, a lot of parents, from what I heard, was kind of afraid to send their children to swim lessons.
I'll have more details on what Izzy Law means for you and your children at WJBF.com. Brad?
All right, Hannah, let's hear live tonight. People in Aiken have a brand new way to reach 911 in an emergency. You can text 911 if you can't call. It's a feature that can be useful, law enforcement says, when making a phone call is impossible, or it would raise suspicions, like during a burglary or an assault.
So it comes in sort of similarly for the dispatcher, just the way the phone call does, on the computer screen for them, and they would receive that message and they would text back just like a traditional text message.
If you accidentally text 911, be sure to send a reply indicating that it was a mistake, and don't use text 911 to make pranks or inappropriate texts. That's against the law.
The area around the former Aiken Mall continues to see new development, and after years of waiting for tenants, Olive Garden will be opening its doors soon. Graham Lee has the story.
City leaders tell me the first Olive Garden to open in the All-America city could be ready to serve you later this year. The Golden Corral is gone, and for the last several months, workers have been working to get Aiken's first Olive Garden on the ground. City Manager Stuart Biedenbow says this has been on the wish list for residents for a long time, and is excited to see this request finally being granted.
Our public has been very interested in seeing an Olive Garden locate here for 20 years, so we're glad that the franchise saw fit to have a foothold in our marketplace.
Officials couldn't give me an exact date, but those involved with construction say that you can make your reservations by late August or early September. In Aiken, Graham Lee, WJBF, News Channel 6.
A veteran-owned restaurant opens in Evans.
How they're focusing on serving other veterans when your News at 6 continues.